Hey, this is Spencer Shaw, and I have a rare opportunity today to share an insight from people that are starting a business. Their business is actually going live today. So this is my sister-in-law, Sarah, my sister-in-law, Heather, and their bodyguard, Holt, a.k.a. boyfriend. And so what we're going to do is we're going to interview them because their business goes live tomorrow, and we want to get some insights that you can rarely get. You usually hear about businesses in the works or things that are already happening, and we're getting like behind the scenes thing. What I did is I went on to our Facebook group and I asked some of our members questions that they would want to ask you guys. So these questions are from them, and then I'll get to my questions as well. So the first one comes from Scott Linkletter, and he says, where do you see the business in 12 months?
At a farmer's market.
Yeah, it's a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
So taking off for the winter and then hopefully starting at the beginning of the season next year.
Okay.
Or even depending on how well it does the rest of the season. You know, there's a bunch of, I don't know, you got the festival of trees and stuff like that. We could try and get in some of these bigger events, depending on how well we do, if our name gets out there. So.
Okay. How would you guys get your name out there? That's one of my questions. So that's a word.
Facebook pages, business cards, you know.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth is a big one.
Okay. Word of mouth. All right, we'll dive into some of that stuff. So let's talk about this. If this was a really good question. This is from John Drinkwater. He's from the UK, and he said, if you met an old friend in the mall, how would you describe the new business to them?
That's good.
That's
a good one.
I just tell people that we're making crepes. My dad used to make crepes for us as a family tradition, and they were always loved, and he learned it in France, so we decided just to make it for everybody else since everybody loves them so much. And it's a rare thing, so it's, you know, you don't see crepes every day. You see, you know, funnel cakes and corn dogs stuff like that, but so,
okay.
Yeah.
This is another question from Scott. What events or experiences have led you to believe you might have a product that would be in demand?
I've worked farmers markets now for the last year and a half doing kettle corn with one of my friends that started his own business.
Okay.
And so I saw, like, when he started up, it was really slow. And then, you know, once you're there a week, get your name out there, he picks up now. He makes, you know, $400+ a weekend just on a Saturday.
Okay.
So he does really well there. And I think we can do the same way, you know. Like Heather was saying, crepes are something different. Not everybody has them. People like them. So hopefully.
You said your friend's business picked up after a while.
Do you 2 or 3 weeks. Not like a long time. But once he was there for a few weeks and people got to know what he was doing, who he was. Because, like, the farmers markets that we're going to be at is a lot of regulars. You know, guys that are there every week with their family. So he's got regulars every week that come back, and, you know, he does family reunions for them and stuff now. He has business cards that he passes out to everybody. And
okay. So you guys want to branch out and do that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's ask this. This is actually kind of the way he worded this. It's going to seem harsh, but it's good. This is from John. He says, making a crepe is not that amazing. You can buy them from anywhere. So what will you do to make yours unforgettable?
We've kind of gone into the whole French experience, so...
Are you, like, going to be French kissing the customer?
I will be.
High five. Oh, yeah.
And just copying the French ways, like their recipes pretty much, what they put in the crepes.
Are you going to be rude to them, like French people as well? Be like, oh, stinky American.
We can, yeah.
I'm just kidding. For all of our French customers, I apologize for that rant. Carry on.
And like he said, where we're at, it's a small market and people get hungry, and there's either pizza, kettle corn, or hot dogs, and just crepes is something different, a little bit more high class, and yeah, just something a little bit different.
It's not American. Everything in these farmers markets is very, you know, standard.
Yeah.
So you're saying if I did a booth like, what would it be, like frying Twinkies?
You would probably do really well.
Right.
Okay. So let's ask this. This is from Donna Hamer. She's from Australia, and she says, do they shop at markets or prefer to shop in a store or have a delivery service of crepes? And then other than foot traffic, how will you get your business known to people in the community? So
We did Facebook, and that seemed to be a really, really big. We got a lot.
you guys did an event, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
A lot of our friends were just really supportive, and a lot of the people I used to work with live in Salt Lake. They're very organic based and want to help out these farmers markets. So a lot of them come to them already, and they were just so supportive and wanting to help in any way they could. And that's how we got our word out there. Besides foot truck.
Okay. What else with Facebook do you guys plan on doing? I know, you've done a Facebook page before, and that helped out.
It did.
Do you guys plan on doing like a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell us.
We'll take pictures this weekend. Put it on a Facebook page so we can see what it is, where it's at.
Okay.
Just kind of get the name out there as much as we can.
Maybe take some video or something while we're there.
Okay. Do you think Facebook will be one of your main traffic sources?
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be the biggest,
Yeah, everybody, has smartphones these days, and everybody's got Facebook on their phone, looking at it all the time. So if it's out there, people will see it.
Because you're it's kind of like a restaurant. Do you guys want to do like a check-in kind of thing with Facebook, or with
Like
other
Pinterest?
services, anything like that? Or maybe Pinterest. Like, do you want to share images, or do you want to put the main focus on Facebook? What do you think?
I think the more hits we can get, the better.
Yeah.
To get our name out there and get people interested.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Because you guys are local, what do you think would help bring more people to you guys? That maybe people that aren't walking the farmers market, but people that are bored on a Friday evening or Saturday morning. What do you think you guys could do to get them there?
That's a good question.
Yeah. We can go to door to door. Just piss people off. Pass out flyers.
Do you think social media would be more effective, like your Facebook and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think
Probably
so.
right now.
How about running Facebook ads? Have you guys thought about that, or is it kind of intimidating?
I think it would depend on how well we do. That we kind of have to get our foot in the door first, I think,
Yeah.
before we start running, marketing. But I think that would be a great idea, for sure.
What would be like the signal, the thing that says, yeah, I'm ready to run Facebook ads or do more marketing? What would be like the signal to you guys saying, yeah, let's do that?
Profits, maybe.
Yeah. And how much demand?
Okay.
Yeah.
And in this stage, before the business is starting tomorrow, are you guys in this stage of, trying to do everything you can of marketing wise, or do you feel like you know enough about marketing? Do you feel like you're overwhelmed, or do you feel like you don't know enough? How do you guys feel?
I feel like we're definitely not savvy in the marketing area.
Yeah.
I think our main focus right now is just getting started up and making sure that the creps are, up to health code and what everybody wants, and just a good product to put out there. But yeah, we definitely want to learn more about marketing, putting our name out there.
Okay. Are you guys scared?
Yeah, a little bit.
nervous. A little, yeah.
These guys put their game face on, but,
It's
if
scary.
if it doesn't work, then it's just going to suck.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are college students and past college. The old maid next to me there.
Yeah. No kidding.
But you know what I mean? So, it's not like a huge investment of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of
Right.
dollars, but still it's a significant investment.
Mm-hmm.
What fears do you have? What are you scared of?
It's not going to be busy.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me.
I'm not really worried about being busy right now. With these farmers markets this time of year, coming, towards the fall and the summer, they get really busy. It's not so hot. They like to come to these things, but my fear is just not having a clientele, I guess, people coming and liking them. And
So, you set up the table, you got all your product, you got your sign, you did your Facebook invites, and all of a sudden it's no one's there.
yeah.
Is that what
I
you're
think
scared
my
of?
fear is being unprepared, forgetting something, or forgetting something about the health license because they're so strict, or
Running out of something.
running out of something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
something
would
like
be
that.
terrible.
Something
Okay.
going wrong.
So let's fast forward tomorrow, and let's just pretend that your Facebook invites for your event went really well, and you've set up shop, and shop looks great, and you've got all your supplies, and everything's going well, and you're totally surprised. You're wow, we actually did really well in sales. What's the next step?
Do it
What do you
again.
want to do?
Yep, do it again the next
Yeah,
day.
do it again. And, we're in 2 markets right now.
Uh-huh.
We're in a Mill Creek market and then a Gardner Village market.
Okay.
There's so many markets that go on though. Like, there can be, we could have 3 different markets on a Friday and have all 3 of us at a different location.
Okay.
Depending on how well we do,
So if like tomorrow was just like a home run, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that you brought crepes. Like, they're just super stoked. Is that something you guys would want to expand and do?
I think maybe after a few times of having that.
Okay.
Just because from what I've seen, these things are hit and miss. Some weeks will be really good, some weeks don't.
Okay.
So just, try it out for a few weeks at these 2 places. And if it does do well, then definitely consider expanding to, because we've been invited to a bunch of them to do them at. The lady that I, contacted about being in these says we can be in one on Friday morning as well. So we could have 2 on Friday right now and 1 on Saturday. But
Okay. What about marketing? At that point, would that be a signal that you want to amp up marketing?
Yeah,
I think so.
definitely.
And if would you want to try and like shotgun and do a bunch of things, or would you want to like be really good at a couple things? Like, what would be better for you guys?
I think it'd be cool to get into maybe a whole nother realm, like doing events, like weddings and parties and stuff like that. I think that would be really
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you think like marketing, that would be the key to doing that?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like building out that Facebook page, or like looking locally and connecting with people, or building out your brand, or whatever that may be.
Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely.
Now I have another question. This actually is from Kevin, and this was a good question. He was talking about the experience that a person goes through, and he said, you go into stores like Great Harvest Bread Company, and like you walk in the door and you can smell fresh bread, and you get to taste that bread, and you go to Costco on the weekends or almost any day, and they give you free samples. So what do you guys want to do to create an experience?
I think going back to the French theme that Heather was talking about, I'm planning on getting you a chef hat. And we've got these they found some really cute stickers for mustaches. Like we were talking
mustache
about.
stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Giving them to the kids, and it'd be really easy.
Okay.
And people will be walking around. It's basically kind of on-site marketing for us, too. Other kids are going to ask where they got that. And we'll tell everybody there, it came from us.
Okay. Cool.
So it's part of the experience, I think.
If someone was to take a magic wand and like wave it over your business, so that's like tomorrow you do $1,000, like you blow your friend out of the water.
That would be ideal.
Okay. So you know what I mean? It's just like a phenomenal day. Tell me, like, what would that magic wand, like, what would they have to do to make it have $1,000 day tomorrow?
Just going back to my friend that has his kettle corn business, he has the name of every booth, every vendor that's there. He goes around, he tells people what he has, and he trades with them. He gives them samples of it. They try it. They come buy it from him.
Okay.
So I thought we could maybe do that, just get in tight with the booths, and then they tell their friends, and then people come to it. And then just being friendly, starting, it's like a conversation instead of just sales, being outgoing, talking to people.
Customer service.
Yeah, definitely, tell your friends about us. We have a Facebook page like it, all these things. Just, it's not just, okay, here you go. Thanks, there's your money.
Okay. So let's say you guys were to hire someone. What would that first employee do?
Learn how to make crepes.
Yeah.
And then what would you be doing? Since they're now making the crepes, what would you be doing?
Well, I would say if we start hiring employees, we'd have to branch out, and so they'd have to learn everything. I mean, we all know how to make the crepes, what filling goes inside, how much, how to wrap it, all that stuff. And so we would probably just put them at another market and have one of us there to oversee it, and then have employees and just make it bigger, branch out.
Okay. And if you guys had like a marketing consultant come in and advise you, what would you want them to do with the business, to help you guys grow?
Obviously, we're open to any ideas to make more money. That's what marketing boils down to, I think.
Yeah.
I think different ways of advertising would be good because we don't really know like what's out there, what to do.
All we've got so far is Facebook for advertising. You know?
Okay. So, do you feel like that's enough for starting, or do you feel like you definitely need more? What do you think?
I think more would be good.
I think more would be good, especially like because we're just starting, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll see how well Facebook does, and if it doesn't, you know, give us much, then definitely think of other ways to advertise and expand.
Okay. So if a marketing person was to say, hey, you know what, I'll help with your Facebook stuff, you know, and after you guys have done it for a while and you've got some revenue, then I'll help you guys create some ads so you can, you know, let more people know about it. Is that kind of things that you guys would want?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you concerned with like how aesthetically the Facebook page would look, or are you just more concerned about getting the customers? Like, do you care about the image, or do you care about like the actual business? Like, what is it?
I would say I'm more concerned about as
You're
an
an artist, yeah.
yeah. I care about like what the crepes look like, how pretty they are, the signs,
Okay.
the image, the image that we're portraying as a business.
And then Holt's over there. He's like, dude, just give me the money.
Well, I'm just thinking like, no, definitely image is important because if you have a good image, you know, people are they're going to be attracted to that.
Yeah.
So if you have, you know, good signs and good Facebook page and all that stuff, they're going to be attracted to it. And if your product's good, you know, it's a double win.
Yeah.
And I feel like our product's good. So,
What questions should I have asked, or would you like to ask me?
I'm just wondering, is there more we could have done for advertising for the first day? I guess we all thought that it's just barely starting. We don't really need to do much, you know, but would it be better to just get a bunch of advertising and like that grand opening kind of sense?
I think you guys did a smart thing with the Facebook event. And you guys are tapping into your audience and you understand who's there, which is really good. And on top of that, if you created a Facebook page and had like your business name, even if you know, since you're an artist, if you just drew out the business name, took a picture and used that as the cover image. You don't have to do like Photoshop fancy stuff.
Yeah.
And then start engaging on there. So like maybe 2 weeks ago, it could have been, hey, you know, in 2 weeks we're going to be at the farmer's market. You know, we're going to have 10 flavors. Guess what flavors they're going to be? And the person with the correct guess gets a free one or something something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, I didn't know about this until like 2 days ago. So, you know what I mean?
really know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, I think creating like that type of environment and like building some hype, some awareness around it. Now, tomorrow, I've had lots of first days of businesses. I mean, you guys worked for me when I owned the shaved ice stands.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the first day, like when you start, like first day of the business is crazy, but the first day of each season is still kind of crazy as well. One thing that I would really highly suggest would be collecting email addresses. Because that way you can say, hey, if you want to sign up for our email newsletter, we'll send you a coupon before next farmer's market. And what it does is it reminds them, sure, you're going to give up like maybe 10%, 15%, 20%, I don't know, you'll figure out your percentages. But it reminds them and it puts them in the loop. And then all of a sudden, you know, come fall, you can say, hey guys, we're going to be doing weddings now. Oh, we're going to be doing events. Oh, we do schools. And you could potentially have several hundred people on your email list. So that's one thing I think I would do.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. That's good.
Yeah. And then, you know, the Costco example, Costco does the food because it gets people to buy more because they eat it. And then they're giving someone something, and when someone is gifted something, they feel like they have to reciprocate and purchase. So it's a little evil on the marketing there. There's the social proof because everyone's walking around with like a little cup. So, you know, maybe you could do it like on a tiny little toothpick, like a square like that big on a toothpick. So you wouldn't be giving out a ton of product.
Do samples?
Yeah,
That's
those
what
are some thoughts.
That's what I thought. It'd be messy is our problem.
Yeah.
You know?
We just have to do like the fillings a little thinner so they can...
Yeah, I mean, if it was just like super thin filling, like tiny bit of powdered sugar, like, you know, like a little cube, like turned, you know, folded over on a toothpick.
Yeah.
And I think people will be like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I think Facebook is a really good thing for your venture. And then, if you decide to do, spread out to weddings or events or things like that, having that email list and the Facebook page, it gives you like that momentum. Whereas when we had the shaved ice stand, you guys worked for me, Facebook wasn't around. It wasn't invented back then.
Yeah.
So business has totally changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everyone on the camera is like, oh man, nice. Now I understand why he has all the gray hairs. He's older than he looks. We already talked over some of the logistics. And the logistics are they're going to be processing payments through Square. So they're going to be doing that through an iPhone. They're going to be taking cash. But having the Square reader, I think, is really powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you had an iPad, like a 3G iPad, or I doubt there's wireless there, but if there was, I've seen a lot of people turn their iPad into a cash register, which is really cool.
That too. Which is cool.
So that technology is pretty amazing. You don't have to go through getting approved to process credit cards and all that other garbage. Maybe we'll do another follow-up tomorrow or Saturday, and we'll talk about what it was really like. And then I think you guys have a lot more questions. Now it's probably just like that unknown, overwhelm.
I was going to say it's new territory.
Yeah. It's a little scary. I mean, it's scary, but it's exciting. Is that kind of...
No, it's
definitely.
I'm definitely excited for it,
It's like packing for a trip where you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man.
Did I forget something?
Did I bring everything? What's it going to be like?
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, okay, some of the things that I expected happened and some of the things that didn't, totally didn't happen. Good talking with you guys, and we'll do a follow-up.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Bess.
Welcome.
Thanks.